Germany, often referred to as the economic engine of Europe, is currently stuck in a phase of absolute economic stagnation. Let's break this down. Germany's economic performance, especially since the pandemic, has been disappointing. This is clearly illustrated in the chart showing Germany's quarterly GDP evolution since 1991. The graph highlights that Germany's GDP has remained stagnant at pre-pandemic levels since 2019, with no growth and even occasional contraction. More alarmingly, this current phase represents the longest period of economic stagnation Germany has experienced in the last 35 years. The last major stagnation occurred between 2001 and 2005, a tough four-year period during which structural reforms were implemented, enabling subsequent growth. However, this current stagnation has already lasted 5 years, and the outlook remains bleak. A grim outlook from the Bundesbank. The Bundesbank, Germany's central bank, recently released its economic forecasts for the coming years, and the projections are far from optimistic. According to these estimates, in 2025, Germany's economy will grow by a mere 0.2%. The projections for 2026 and 2027 are slightly better, but still feeble, with expected growth rates of 0.8% and 0.9% respectively. If these forecasts hold true, Germany's economy in 2027 will be only 2% larger than it was in 2019, an average annual growth of just 9.2%. Implications for the Eurozone. Germany's persistent stagnation has significant consequences for the broader Eurozone. If the region's largest economy falters, the entire Eurozone is likely to struggle economically in the coming years. This weak growth is one of the main reasons the European Central Bank, ECB, continues to cut interest rates. For instance, the ECB recently lowered rates to 3% and indicated further cuts are likely due to the Eurozone's economic fragility. Interest rates versus structural problems. While reducing interest rates can stimulate borrowing and spending in the short term, it won't address the underlying structural problems causing Germany's stagnation. According to the Bundesbank, these issues are rooted in the supply side of the economy, not in high borrowing costs. Some of the key structural challenges highlighted include energy costs. The energy price shock from Russia's war in Ukraine has ended Germany's reliance on cheap Russian energy, eroding a key competitive advantage. Green transition. Germany's stronghold in manufacturing combustion in vehicles is being undermined by the shift to electric vehicles, where it lacks a competitive edge. Demographic shifts. An aging population and declining youth base are changing demand patterns, impacting industries like automotive manufacturing. Regulatory burden. Increasing business regulations have added significant costs to German enterprises. Political instability. Internal political uncertainty further complicates the policy landscape. Global protectionism. Rising global trade barriers are hurting Germany's export-oriented economy. Emerging market competition. Countries like China are outpacing Germany in sectors such as automotive, chemical, and mechanical engineering, with cheaper energy, labor, and comparable productivity. This is beyond a miracle. A need for structural reforms. Lowering interest rates will do little to resolve these deep-rooted issues. What Germany, and by extension the Eurozone, needs is structural reform. This includes deregulating the energy sector to reduce costs, facilitating labor market transitions to adapt to changing industries, easing regulatory burdens to foster business growth. Without these changes, Germany's economic stagnation is unlikely to end, and the Bundesbank's forecasts of prolonged stagnation may prove accurate. This analysis underscores the importance of tackling Germany's economic challenges at their core rather than relying solely on monetary policy, which, in this context, appears to be merely a stopgap measure.